If I want to highlight something to him, I shouldn't speak right away, but I should start with kind words, begin with praise, tell him how much I appreciate him, how important he is to me. If there's only a small thing that bothers me, I shouldn't say, "You're wrong, you're bothering me," as if it's my personal struggle. It would help me a lot if you could go along with me on this. A man loves to support his wife, but if she tells him, "You're wrong," he feels hurt 1,000 times more than a woman would feel humiliated. No one likes to be humiliated or belittled, but with men, there is this male ego, and the hurt can be devastating. It can push him away from his wife, or he might go to war to prove that he is important in the home, or he may shut down completely. A woman can extinguish her husband entirely with too much criticism, too many remarks. He might feel that he is living his own life and doesn't want any connection with her. He does what is necessary at home just to avoid divorce. But if she becomes miserable and he becomes miserable, it becomes very difficult to get marriage counseling. Women, when there are problems at home, have no problem going for counseling. But it is very difficult to convince a man to go to counseling because he feels that if they tell him to go, it means that he is not successful, that he's a failure, and he's not willing to admit that. Therefore, the rule is always that when a woman wants to suggest marriage counseling to her husband, she should not say, "You have a problem, let's go for counseling." There is no way he will agree in such a situation. She should say, "You are perfect, I have a problem. Let's go together so they can guide me on how to behave." Now he might say, "Okay, I agree to come," although that's not guaranteed, but there is a chance. If a man feels that his wife is criticizing him to fix him, he will rebel. If you are coming to fix me, what does that mean? Am I a broken tool? Who needs to fix a broken tool? I'm not broken. I'm not damaged. That's how he feels. Therefore, one must know how to wisely direct things, how to lead. And the woman, as we said, is like the neck that directs the head. The head may look one way, but the neck determines where it goes, and the head will see a different picture. A person standing by one window may see trash, while standing by another window, they may see a beautiful view. It depends on where they are looking. Looking from here, they see trash, but looking from there, they see a beautiful view. The woman has the power to guide and redirect. This is so powerful that the sages say that if a person pays attention, they will discover that all the Jewish holidays, all the festivals we have in the Torah, and even rabbinical decrees such as Hanukkah and Purim, are all thanks to women. Let's start with Hanukkah and Purim. Hanukkah, everyone knows, the Maccabees defeated the Greeks and drove them out. How did it all begin? The story reveals evidence from those days. Matityahu, son of Yohanan the high priest, was pained because the Jewish people were abandoning Torah and mitzvot due to the decrees of the Greeks. They decreed that Jews should not study Torah, not circumcise their children, and not keep Shabbat, and anyone who did so would be killed. Gradually, people began to stray, and without Torah, the Jewish people were falling apart. What keeps the Jewish people intact is only the study of Torah. What distinguishes a Jew from a non-Jew? Violence, Torah and commandments? This is what makes us unique. This is what preserves the generations of the Jewish people. Antiochus decreed that this would not happen. Everyone felt a sense of weakness. What could you do? You could fight against war elephants and an army of trained soldiers, an enormous army. Greece had conquered all the nations, one by one. Who could fight against the Greek Empire? It would be suicide from the start. But Yehudit, the sister of Judah Maccabee and the other brothers, was the one who awakened them. She said, "How can you be indifferent? Look at what is happening to the people of Israel." And she didn't just speak, she took action. When the Greeks saw her, she said, "Take me to the commander." She risked her life. She served them food including cheese, pretending she was defecting to their camp, and she was the daughter of the high priest, a message to the Greek commander that he should take the daughter of the high priest for himself. She risked her life, gave him wine, and when everyone dispersed and only the two of them remained, he fell asleep. She beheaded him and brought his head to the camp of Israel. They placed it on the wall. The Greeks woke up in the morning, saw the Jews coming at them, approached the commander's tent, and saw him without a head. This marked the beginning of salvation for the people of Israel. This woman, Yehudit, is why many people eat dairy foods on Hanukkah in memory of she fed the enemy. Purim, who was responsible? Queen Esther risked her life by entering before King Ahasuerus. She went through the whole process with him, and in the end, Haman, who was the king's most trusted official, was given the king's signet ring and sent to hang. She said, "I will go before the king," and told Mordecai to gather all the Jews in Shushan to fast for 3 days, day and night. "I and my maidservants will also fast," she said. "Then I will approach the king. But first, add merit for me." She was the one who stirred the Jewish people to repentance. She was the one who risked her life, and to this day we celebrate Purim because of her. Passover, Sukkot, and Shavuot, the 3 holidays that commemorate the Exodus from Egypt. The Jewish people left Egypt thanks to the righteous women of that generation, as the sages say. They did not say this to flatter women. If they said it, it means it is true. It is written that in the future, the redemption will come because of women. The entire